That's the ultimate hack in building generational wealth through housing. Seems like everyone from California wants to leave and hit Texas and Florida. The biggest challenge that people are facing that they might not be calculating is property taxes. In actuality, it might be less expensive to buy and live in California than it is in Texas. Now, before you go crazy and start telling me that I'm a liar and I'm a puppet for Gavin Newsom, I broke down the math and why I think it's actually cheaper to own and might be better to invest in California than in Texas. Specifically for this example, we're gonna be looking at property taxes and how they change over time. And you won't want to stay at the end because I'm going to give you a hack that's going to change generational wealth for you and your family and why you may never want to sell a house in California again. Property taxes, according to Business Insider in Texas, average out statewide at about 1.6% and 0.75% in California. However, I think that's wrong. I'm gonna use that property tax rate for Texas, but I'm gonna use 1% for California because that's just a little bit more of what I see when I'm qualifying individuals. I took a look at the average price point for a house in Texas. Now, Texas has one of the lower average price points in all of the United States, sitting at about $342,000. California, on the other side, Gavin Newsom's state, has one of the highest average cost per home, sitting at a median of $904,000. So what does that mean? Like, how is it possible for property taxes to be less in California than they are in Texas? Even though the tax rate is higher in Texas, the price point is just so vast. It's almost $600,000 in difference. But check this out, the numbers are the numbers. In Texas, they don't have a homestead like they do in California, meaning that in California, property taxes don't change. Once you lock up the house, if your tax rate is 1% on that $904,000 house, your yearly taxes every year forever going forward, unless you do something like a title change that causes the property to be reassessed, you're sitting at $9,400. Like, it's never gonna change at all. It's actually $9,040, my bad. All you mathematicians, don't kill me. But in Texas, properties are reassessed every 3 years, meaning that every 3 years, your property taxes increase based on the new value of the house. So this is where it gets really interesting. I used an appreciation calculator to figure out how the value of the properties in Texas would change over a 3-year span. So at a 5% appreciation rate, I found out that on year 3, your property in Texas that was getting assessed at $342,000 with a tax rate of 1.6 with a yearly tax bill of $5,472 would change to a new assessed value of $395,000 with a property tax bill now of $6,334. That's almost a $1,000 increase. On year 6, your property at a 5% appreciation rate per year would increase to $7,332. Year 9, this is where it gets really expensive. Your property would be reassessed at $530,000 with a property tax bill of almost $8,500. That's almost double what you originally had paid for the house. And this is where it gets cheaper to live in California if you're just looking at property taxes. By year 12, on the 4th reassessment of your property is getting assessed at a value of $615,000. And now your property tax bill is $9,826. That's now $800 more than the California tax bill. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. It's like, hey, that's like 12 years down the line, we're gonna be making way more money. But what if you're not? Like, what if you were close to retiring and now that you're retired, you're unable to keep up with the continuous change in taxes? Like, what do you do with that house at that point? Or what if you have it as an investment property and you have renters in there, and now because the taxes have increased so much, now you're losing money because the rent's no longer covering the complete mortgage plus your tax bill. Now, over that same 12-year span in California, regardless of how much your property appreciated, you're still only at a $9,000 tax bill. And this is the gem that you're gonna wanna hold on to in this whole video. California has a proposition that allows you to give your tax rate to your kids or have a grandchild inherit their grandparents' house and keep the grandparents' tax rate. So let's just say you bought a house today for $900,000, you lived in it for 30 years, and now you're gonna retire and you're gonna gift your house to your kids, or you're gonna sell them your house. Your kids, when your house is now worth $2 million, will still keep that $9,000 tax bill and it won't change. That's a huge hack when you're thinking of building generational wealth and handing an asset to your children. Not only are you giving them a house probably at a discounted rate, but now absorbing a tax rate from 30 years ago that by that point is gonna be peanuts. It'd be like you inheriting your parents' house that they bought in the 70s and absorbing their $1,000 tax bill. Isn't that insane how much more cash flow you can now gain every single month if you turn that into an investment property? Now there is a stipulation that you have to live in the house in order to be able to absorb that old tax rate, but you can live in it for a year and then turn it into a rental. That's the ultimate hack in building generational wealth through housing. So now I get what you're saying, like, yeah, but the mortgage payment is so much higher for the California house, but with just patience and making your payments over time, if you never sell both houses, over the long run, California is just way less expensive than Texas because of that tax rate never changing. Your mortgage is only 30 years. After 30 years, the only thing you're gonna be paying is taxes and insurance, and California starts to win out from there, your kids' future and your grandkids' future. If you're looking into investing, and you're looking into investing in the long term, you may want to think about buying a more expensive house in California than the cheaper house in Texas that's going to reassess every 3 years.